Hello traders, it's Ryan from theprivatebanker.com. Just going to do a recap for the day on crude oil, and I'll quickly touch base on the SP500. So what we saw on crude yesterday is we auctioned above last week's value, and we tried to see buyers locking in price here, but FOMC minutes come out, the dollar spiked higher and it's continuing to head higher to the 2000 or this year's highs. And we basically see a reversion to the mean overnight, and into the open they were holding Vwap, and we see this rotation back to the initial balance high for the week and last week's mean, and it was around that half standard deviation on the week, and we'd had this Midas Vwap running from the high that was showing an imbalance to the sell side from this fractal high. You could have anchored it from here as well, but it made more sense from here. And into the open we see a pullback to this area, into this 81.80. If we take a look at the daily chart, we opened right inside the low of yesterday's spike, that spike down in K. I'll quickly show you that now. So this was the spike down in K yesterday, and this was today's open right here. And if we look, this was right on top of the 5 EMA, and it was either going to punch higher or it was going to punch lower, away from that 5 exponential moving average. And as we'd seen, value built overnight lower, and the current context in the market with this EMA, the 10 EMA that caught up with price, and the fact that one time frame got taken out from this 3 days of one time framing higher, I looked to the short side and I started to look for rejection of yesterday's range straight off of the open, and we did actually open just below the 5 EMA, so obviously off the open the 5 EMA started to curl down, and it's pretty much a go no go trade. I mean, we're either going to see buyers back into yesterday's range, or we were going to see further rejection here. And with the current context, with this spike down yesterday and this nice accumulation, I look for continuation here, and down and rejection of the previous day's range. And also, like I said, we were seeing rotational anyway, so I mean we could have saw a deeper pullback to the high of the developing value area high, but off of the open, like I said, we just see that order flow. There was a couple other things that I was looking at the time that I'm not going to go into, but obviously just the context of the market. And we basically rotated down to the developing value area on the low of the month, and we basically just found some micro balance here as the market's starting to pause now at the developing value area low. We're either going to try hold this area tomorrow and possibly see a reversion to the mean into next month, or we're going to close out in the bearish structure and use the developing value area low as confidence into next month. If we look at the monthly, we are closing out into support here, and we have a large engulfing bar down now, so we're clearly seeing some fair prices and some support come in here now, so we have to continue to monitor these levels as we continue to progress here into next month and next week. So just off of the open today, obviously, like I said, damn chart won't move. Hold on. Into the open today, so I just look for the short off the open, and managed to get some nice scales out into this nice move down, and we see a close outside the initial balance into around the first IB extension area on the first test, and then we can continue to break down further to the second IB extension, and then we see this pullback to value, and then one time frame got taken out, and we just see two-way trade come back into the market the rest of the day. I just held my run in short after I got my core position scaled, and I got a nice add here, and further rejection, which was this rotation down here. There's this pullback to Vwap, and we had that previous Globex low there, and I managed to get scaled again, but there's just no follow through, so I just kept my core on in, and almost came back up here and got stopped out into the close, but I just held on and just exited into K, so which was the spike down into the close here. And that's pretty much how the day panned out. I mean, I was expecting possibly some further downside. I mean, there was this on that previous low. There's that large amount of volume down here, and some incomplete auctions. And I was looking for the market to come down and clean that level back up, but we just didn't. We just couldn't do that. And like I said, we just we held this area, which basically just got supported off the monthly developing value area low. So we just couldn't find a seller for it. Sorry. So obviously heading into tomorrow's trade, I mean, we've got some potential one time framing down now, and we are looking for potential further balance in this area, and obviously keep an eye on the fast time frame moving averages, and most importantly the developing value area low confluence on this month's developing value. If we look at the SP 500. Basically what we did today is we're continuing the one time frame in here, so we've been one time frame all the way up in the pit session, and today we open with the 5 exponential moving average below us. We've seen this 2-day balance, we see this sort of spike down into this 2-day accumulation, and they tried to run it down further in B, but we got support off the point of control of this current distribution, and we found a responsive buyer in the market pretty much one time framed up, and we see this nice sort of expansion higher. Some huge buyer came in here. I believe about 15,000 contracts got traded in a couple of seconds or 1 second in this area, and we see this spike higher in two-way trade come back into the close, and so we are continuing to one time frame here, and again we're just heading back to the all-time highs to see what happens, whether we're going to see a big blow off top or a breakout here. So I didn't trade the S&P today, but that's just what I speculated on this market, and pushing forward, the expectation again is for a retest of these current highs. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it like that, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Have a great day, take care, and goodbye.